Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the ultimate cozy gaming experience on Nintendo Switch. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's count down the top 10 perfect cozy games on Switch. Firewatch drops you into the shoes of Henry, a guy escaping his complicated life by taking a fire lookout job in the Wyoming wilderness during 1989. You spend your days hiking through this gorgeous forest, checking for fires, and talking to your supervisor Delilah through a handheld radio. The game is basically a walking simulator, but in the best way possible. You're exploring this beautiful, hand-painted landscape, following trails, discovering secrets, and slowly unraveling a mystery that keeps you hooked. The relationship you build with Delilah through radio conversations feels incredibly real and natural, and the choices you make in those conversations actually matter to how your story unfolds. There's no combat, no timers, just you, the woods, and a compelling narrative that touches on isolation, escape, and human connection. The atmosphere is absolutely incredible, with dynamic lighting that makes every time of day feel special, and the voice acting is top tier. It's a short experience at around 4 to 5 hours, but it's one that stays with you long after you've finished it, making you think about the choices you made and the relationships you formed in those lonely Wyoming woods. Chicory puts you in control of a cute little dog who works as a janitor for Chicory, the world's greatest artist and wielder of a magical paintbrush. One day, Chicory disappears and all the color drains from the world. So you pick up the brush and become the new wielder, with the ability to paint absolutely everything around you. The entire game is basically a coloring book come to life. Every single surface, tree, building, and character can be painted however you want, with different brush sizes and colors you unlock as you progress. Beyond just painting for fun, you're solving environmental puzzles by painting specific objects to activate them, helping townsfolk with their problems, and exploring a huge interconnected world filled with secrets. The story deals with some surprisingly deep themes about self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and living up to expectations, but it handles everything with warmth and genuine heart. There's no fail state, no time limits, just pure creative expression mixed with light Zelda-style exploration and puzzles. You can even customize your dog character and name them after your favorite food, which is adorable. Gris is an artistic masterpiece that tells a wordless story about a girl dealing with painful experiences in her life, represented through a breathtaking journey across a watercolor world. You start in a crumbling world devoid of color, and as you progress through platforming sections and environmental puzzles, colors gradually return, representing different emotional stages. The game never punishes you. There are no deaths, no game overs, just pure exploration and discovery as you unlock new abilities like singing to interact with structures or transforming into a heavy cube to break through floors. Each area introduces new mechanics organically while maintaining that peaceful, meditative pace that makes everything feel intentional and meaningful. The art style is absolutely stunning, with every frame looking like a painting you'd want to hang on your wall, and the animation is fluid and graceful in a way that makes simple movement feel beautiful. The soundtrack by Berlinist perfectly complements every moment, swelling during emotional peaks and fading to quiet piano during reflective sections. Spiritfarer casts you as Stella, a fairy master for the deceased who sails around a beautifully hand-drawn world, picking up spirits, caring for them, and eventually helping them move on to the afterlife. It's part farming sim, part management game, part platformer, and entirely about saying goodbye. You're building facilities on your boat, like kitchens and gardens, to cook meals and grow crops for your passengers, completing quests to learn their stories and help them find peace. Each spirit character is wonderfully written, with their own personalities, quirks, and deeply human stories about regret, love, and acceptance that hit surprisingly hard emotionally. You're constantly exploring islands to gather resources, discovering new spirits to bring aboard, and upgrading your boat, which grows into this massive floating village over time. The gameplay loop of managing passenger needs, cooking their favorite foods, building new structures, and platforming through resource gathering areas creates this comforting rhythm that makes hours disappear. Dave the Diver is this wonderfully weird mix of diving adventure, sushi restaurant management, and RPG elements that somehow works perfectly together. You play as Dave, a retired diver who gets roped into catching fish during the day in a mysterious, ever-changing ocean called the Blue Hole, then serving that fish as sushi in your friend's restaurant at night. The diving sections are exploration-heavy, where you're swimming through gorgeous underwater environments, catching fish with harpoons or nets, discovering secrets, fighting occasional bosses, and managing your oxygen while collecting as much as possible. Back at the restaurant, you're preparing dishes, hiring staff, serving customers, and upgrading your menu based on what you caught, creating this satisfying loop where better dives mean better ingredients, mean happier customers, mean more money for better equipment. The game constantly introduces new mechanics and side activities, underwater farms, photography missions, racing minigames, a whole card battle system, keeping things fresh across the 20 to 30 hour runtime. Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley, brings the beloved Moomin characters to life in a peaceful adventure that's all about harmony with nature, challenging unjust rules, and finding your own path. You play as Snufkin, returning to Moominvalley for spring, only to find park keepers have installed restrictive signs and rules everywhere, disrupting the natural harmony. Your goal is to restore balance by removing these signs through musical, stealth gameplay. You're playing melodies on your harmonica to distract guards, sneaking through areas without being caught, and freeing the valley from bureaucratic control. The game is heavily inspired by the original Tove Jansson books, with that same gentle philosophy about freedom, kindness, and living simply without harming others. You're also collecting inspirations from nature to compose new songs, helping various characters with their problems, and just exploring this beautiful isometric world filled with cozy cabins and serene forests. There's fishing, foraging, and plenty of quiet moments where you can just sit and enjoy the scenery while the soothing soundtrack plays. A short hike is exactly what the title suggests, but so much more. You're a bird named Claire visiting Hawk Peak Provincial Park with one goal: hike to the mountain summit to get cell phone reception. The brilliant part is how the game gives you this tiny open-world island to explore however you want, with no pressure or time limits. You can go straight for the peak, or spend hours talking to quirky animal characters, playing beach stickball, finding hidden treasures, racing other hikers, or just gliding around enjoying the scenery. Movement feels absolutely fantastic. As you collect golden feathers, you can climb higher and glide farther, gradually opening up the entire map and creating this wonderful sense of progression through pure exploration. The pixel art style has this dreamy quality, enhanced by a soft tilt-shift effect that makes everything look like a tiny diorama. And the soundtrack by Mark Sparling is pure bliss, with those acoustic guitar tracks that perfectly capture the feeling of a perfect hiking day. Every NPC has something interesting to say, or a small quest that leads to discovery. And there are secrets hidden everywhere, rewarding curiosity. Stardew Valley hands you a run-down farm inherited from your grandfather and lets you build it into anything you want. A massive crop empire, a livestock ranch, a wine-making business, or just a small garden while you focus on fishing and mining instead. You're planting and watering crops each day, taking care of animals, chopping wood, clearing debris, and slowly expanding your farm based on your personal playstyle across the 4 seasons that each bring different crops and events. But farming is just one aspect. You're also exploring mines filled with monsters and resources, fishing in various locations with different fish species, building relationships with the townspeople through conversations and gifts that can lead to romance and marriage, and participating in seasonal festivals that bring the community together. The game never forces you down any specific path, letting you progress at your own pace while discovering secrets like the community center bundles that unlock new areas, or Joja Corporation's alternative route if you prefer corporate efficiency over community restoration. Animal Crossing New Horizons drops you on a deserted island with nothing but a tent and Tom Nook's questionable business practices, then lets you slowly transform it into your dream paradise. Every day brings new possibilities. You're shaking trees for resources, catching bugs and fish to donate to the museum or sell for bells, talking to your adorable animal neighbors about their daily lives, and gradually unlocking new tools and abilities that expand what you can do. The core appeal is the real-time system, where the game syncs with your actual calendar and clock. So seasons change, events happen on specific dates, and different creatures appear at different times, creating this living world that's always giving you a reason to check in. Customization is incredibly deep, with thousands of furniture items, clothing options, and the ability to terraform your entire island by moving rivers, building cliffs, and placing paths exactly how you want. You're designing your home's interior and exterior, creating themed areas across your island, inviting friends to visit or traveling to their islands, and participating in seasonal events that keep things fresh throughout the year. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar centers on rebuilding the quiet Zephyr Town by growing your farm and helping revive its once famous weekly market. The story is simple and cozy, focusing on your arrival as a new farmer who gradually brings life back to the town through hard work, relationships, and steady progress rather than dramatic plot twists. The core gameplay loop mixes farming, animal care, fishing, foraging, cooking, and crafting, but what truly sets it apart is the Bazaar system. Instead of passively shipping items, you actively run your own stall, display goods, attract customers, and manage sales in real time, making every harvest feel directly rewarding. Windmills play an important role by processing crops into higher value products and upgrading tools, adding a light layer of strategy to production. You can also befriend villagers, attend festivals, and build relationships, including romance, which deepens the life sim experience. As the Bazaar grows, new features, shops, and town improvements unlock, creating a satisfying sense of progression. And there you have it, the top 10 perfect cozy games on Nintendo Switch. Each of these games offers something special, whether you want to paint the world, run a sushi restaurant, or just live a simple farming life. Did I miss any that deserve to be on this list? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gaming content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.